Coming to you live from Ursprung Gymnasium inside the Lou Higgins Center. Welcome to Baldwin Wallace University's coverage of the Yellow Jacket Wrestling program. Tonight, a dual meet in conference against Muskingum University with history on the line as the Yellow Jackets look to reestablish a new program record, seeking their 19th win of the season tonight. Alongside Cade Mickley, I'm Brendan Gulick. I apologize for that. Cade, it's a night where the Yellow Jackets certainly appear to be the heavy favorites, but you've still got to go out and compete well.
Oh yeah, wrestling, anything can happen at any given time. One wrong move and you're on your back, and that's all she wrote. But like you were saying, this BW squad has a lot of experience. They've been there. They know what they're doing. One win away from a new school record. They're very hungry to go get that tonight. They're going to be led tonight by a couple seniors. Pat McGinnis, a senior for BW. Pat has been wrestling for the program for the last 4 years. His letter winner with a record of 8-9, I believe, this season. Graham Montague is also a 174-pounder who is a great leader for BW. A lot of points Graham scores. He is the 9th leader in top 15 team wins this year. He scores in the top 15 win percent match as well at 11 on the team. He has 6 falls on the season, and he has scored 42 takedowns, so he's an offensive machine. And for Muskie, Jordan Buckholder seems to be the rising star for them, the young sophomore at 19 wins this season. But like we said earlier, this is a very young Muskie team where most of the lineup is all freshmen, sophomores, maybe a junior in there as well.
Yeah, Muskingum only 3-7 on the season. They've actually lost 5 consecutive dual meets entering tonight. Those losses to Otterbein in conference, who is a first-year program. They lost to Mount Union, who won the OAC championship 2 years ago in a lopsided decision. And then 2 non-conference matchups with Washington and Jefferson and Case Western. And they're coming off of their last dual meet loss at Heidelberg, where they lost 46-3. It's been tough sledding for this team in conference so far, and it's not going to get any easier tonight against a BW team that is as deep as it is talented.
Yes, exactly. And like we were saying, this program, Coach Gibbs has built an amazing program, ranked 9th nationally right now. They return a lot of guys all the time. Currently on the staff, they have 3 assistant coaches that graduated last year alone to come back and help these guys grow and develop. While this Muskie team, like you said, is very young, and it doesn't help that they're in one of the most athletic conferences in the USA, Division III level. The OAC is very tough in all sports, top to bottom.
Dave Shapiro's a senior, one of the more accomplished kids in the program right now. He's not wrestling tonight, and neither are the top 2 individual winners this season, Anthony Arroyo and Zachary Lehman, both not scheduled to wrestle tonight. We did have one late scratch as Chris Doyle will not wrestle at 125. Instead, it'll be Christian Wellman against probably Muskingum's best wrestler, Jordan Burkholder. Lots more to talk about, but we will wait until the start of the match, which is only a couple of minutes away. The national anthem is just around the corner, and when we come back, we'll get right into things. It's Baldwin Wallace and Muskingum coming up shortly on BWYellowJackets.com. Welcome back to Ursprung Gymnasium. It's time for the starting lineups tonight as Baldwin Wallace and Muskingum get ready for their only dual meet of the season, though Muskingum will actually return to BW this weekend during Baldwin Wallace's hosted tournament. At 125 pounds, Christian Wellman wrestles for BW. He'll go up against Jordan Burkholder for Muskingum. At 133, Charlie Nash of the Yellow Jackets faces off with Slade Stiles. Pat McGinnis from Baldwin Wallace against John Rao at 141. It's Zach Taylor at 149 against Muskingum's Toby Warrington. Benjamin Hoof for the Yellow Jackets wrestles 157 tonight against Michael Wilson. Adam Green for the Yellow Jackets against John Broadman for Muskingum. Graham Montague, we mentioned he's had a terrific season. He wrestles 174 against Michael Kashuba. Christopher Head at 184 wrestles Muskingum Anthony Cole Young. The Yellow Jackets will win on a forfeit at the 197 with James Ritchie, and Andrew Sorowski wrestles Logan Thomas at the 285 heavyweight match. But this is 125, and off we go. Christian Wellman against Jordan Burkholder. Of course, the Yellow Jackets are in yellow tops, and Muskingum in the dark uniforms. If you joined us a little late, I'm Brendan Gulick alongside Cade Mickley. And Cade, we mentioned that this was probably going to be a fairly lopsided matchup overall, but Muskingum has shown a little bit of promise.
Yes, right now, Jordan Burkholder, is the leader of this team right now. 19 wins on the season, going against a freshman in Christian Wellman from Apple Creek Waynedale, a powerhouse wrestling program, while Jordan Burkholder is from Crooksville. I actually had the pleasure of watching both these young men wrestle while I was still in high school. Both extremely competitive, working hard right now, as Wellman was in on a nice little shot, looking to finish right now, and there's two.
So BW takes the first 2 points of the match, but again, this is probably one of the spots where Muskingum feels like they could compete well just by getting off on the right foot and having a good wrestler out there early in Burkholder.
Exactly. You want to start off strong, get the juices flowing, and it's great confidence to see someone go out there and compete and win for your team. You feel like you have a shot. Everyone else in the lineup's like, hey, let's go out and get it. Because like I said earlier, wrestling, you never know. One wrong move and you're on your back and you're giving up some points, and it's really hard to get back into a match when you're down a few points like that. Right now we got a stalemate called. So both wrestlers working pretty hard. Wellman getting in on some shots early. Not able to finish all of them like right there. Should be trying to get it around, but Burkholder doing a good job blocking that shot off and using his strength, as he's a little bit more stocky than Wellman right now.
It is 2-1 Baldwin Wallace in the final minute here of our first session.
Ryan time is not a factor, as Wellman only accumulated 5 seconds of Ryan time. Again, you need a minute for a point, and there's another stalemate call.
Head coach Jamie Gibbs makes his way to the edge of the mat, barking out a few instructions. The sixth-year head coach for Baldwin Wallace. To say that he's turned around the program probably doesn't do it justice. Baldwin Wallace's wrestling program hadn't won a conference championship since 1973 until last year, the second consecutive year that they had reestablished a new school single-season win total, one that they are on the verge of breaking here again for the third consecutive year.
Yes, and it's still a few matches to go in the season. As it is, they could set a very high record at this point. Very solid team top to bottom, this Yellow Jacket team.
So a pretty evenly matched opening match.
And again, another
stalemate.
Another stalemate. Burkholder has to be careful here. He hasn't really been on the offense, as Wellman's been the one taking shots, getting those stalemates called. I'm surprised we haven't got a warning yet at this point. But we approach 20 seconds left in this first period. Like you said, 2-1 the score, very close to begin with. And again, another stalemate. This official apparently likes to see a lot of action, which I appreciate, especially in the lighter weights where and there's that warning for stalling that I was talking about. And Wellman, there's another takedown 5 seconds ago in that first period, which is big.
A terrific closing stretch by Christian Wellman. And the Baldwin Wallace Yellow Jackets have a 4-1 lead after our first period. Wellman chooses to go down as we start the second.
Looking for that quick escape or reversal, but we'll see how Burkholder is able to do on top, if he can ride him out any get some back points on a turn or something. He's doing a good job pressuring forward right now, though. You want to keep your hip weight forward, keep them off balance, facing the mat. There, he's throwing a leg in. But Wellman using his length to his advantage, standing up, trying to turn in. Looking for a switch right now.
Wellman nearly had him, but just couldn't quite get positioning.
Burkholder doing a good job with his hips right now, just keeping him behind, pressuring him forward when he needs to. And again, he throws a leg in.
Everybody in the gymnasium at the moment kind of tense. It's very quiet as everyone is intently watching the action. Baldwin Wallace has a 4-1 lead. We are in the second period, and Wellman nearly got himself in a bad situation.
And there, Burkholder's just using his strength, getting a power half in with the legs. Ref appeared to get a 1 count, but no points awarded.
Under a minute in the period.
Burkholder has to be a little careful with how he's using that arm. Make sure it's not called potentially dangerous. And there, he might be getting some back points, but Wellman doing all he can to stay at that 90 degrees before back points are starting to give up.
Wellman 8-6 on the season. He's had a terrific year.
There's 2 back points given up. About 30 seconds left to go in this second period. As Burkholder's also has a minute 20 of riding time built up too. So right now this match you could say is even.
At this point it feels like Wellman is trying to ride out the final 16 seconds of the period.
Burkholder looking for another turn, looking for a pin. Don't think he's going to get that turn right now though. But you got to feel like the momentum shifted a little bit. Once you run where Wellman was clearly the favor in that first period, and all of a sudden Burkholder's right back in it.
Well, that's what we expected from Burkholder. Jordan Burkholder, again, a sophomore wrestling in the 125 weight class. And while we don't have much in the way of statistics for Muskingum tonight, he is clearly one of the top wrestlers on the Fighting Muskies. And he will start on the ground.
Wellman needs to eat into this riding time, try to get that below a minute if he can. If not, he might want to just kick him and get another takedown as he was the aggressor. There's already a stalling call on Burkholder. Another one would result in a point for Wellman. You have to stay conscious of that.
Burkholder is actually looking toward his own bench, asking for some help, trying to figure out exactly how he should attack the young BW wrestler. The riding time is dwindling. It is nearly under a minute, which would definitely help Wellman.
I would not be surprised for Coach Gibbs to tell Wellman to kick Burkholder if it does get under a minute.
It is now under a minute, and the BW faithful start to come alive.
For a second, Wellman had a chance to sucker him back. And there, Burkholder looked for a broomstick. There's an escape, all tied up right now. Wellman again shooting.
50 seconds left in the third period. This match tied at 4 apiece.
Burkholder now on the offensive, looking for takedown. There's the 2 points.
And the riding time will start increasing as well. Looks like at the moment Muskingum is in control of the 125 match. Wellman doing everything he can to pop up in the final 24 seconds.
Burkholder doing a really good job just keeping him tight to his body right now, keeping his pressure forward. Wellman trying a little roll Granby.
Just 10 seconds remaining in the third period. Wellman in danger of losing his 7th match of the season. And there's the buzzer. 1 additional point awarded to Muskingum for the riding time. And Jordan Burkholder wins 7-4 in the first match of the day. So Muskingum gets off to the start that they needed to.
Yes.
Probably the best way to put it.
Exactly. Like we said, this is a young Muskie team that hasn't really done well in the dual meet so far. And that first win, you know, you get everyone else a little bit of confidence. You go out there and beat a kid that is pretty good. And Wellman, like I said, he is a kid. He's a freshman. So don't be surprised to hear his name throughout the next couple of years as he continues to get better under Coach Gibbs.
So we're at the 133-pound match while Charlie Nash and Slade Stiles take the mat. Charlie Nash, a young freshman wrestler for Baldwin Wallace. He's from Norwalk, Ohio, not more than about an hour from campus. Slade Stiles, a junior. He's from Missouri High School in Nevada.
Yes, Nash, he's the third leader of wins on the team with 20 on the season so far. Again, another one of those takedown guys.
Baldwin Wallace, we mentioned, ranked 9th in the country. Muskingum, a program that's got some tradition, but the Yellow Jackets right now are the top dogs in the conference. Baldwin Wallace has only lost 3 times all year, and they have all been to teams considered the best in the entire country, including the reigning national champion Wartburg, who won their 12th NCAA title last year. That was BW's last loss. They've won 7 consecutive meets while taking 4th place out of 13 teams in a matchup in Manchester.
Yeah, nice little scramble situation right there. Nash had the chance to put him on his back, get some points, but it appears maybe contact out or something right now.
So if you joined us a little late at the 125-pound match, Christian Wellman fell short 7-4. Jordan Burkholder from Muskingum won that, and so the first 3 points of the night went to the Fighting Muskies as a team. Nash and Stiles at the 133-pound match having at it. Almost 1 minute remaining here in the first period.
Stiles in on a single leg. Nash doing a good job at blocking it off, getting 2 of his own right there.
Nash with the takedown. Jamie Gibbs a couple of times has gone over to Christian Wellman. Wonder how much of that is words of encouragement versus potentially some critical coaching.
Right after a match, it's best to learn what the things you could have done a little bit differently. It was a disappointing match where Christian probably felt like he had the opportunity to win that match. Early in the match, it felt that way, where he was dominating, taking shots and getting some takedowns. But like I said, Burkholder did a good job at finishing out that match. Right now, Nash has a leg in, looking just to break him down, cross-face him. Looking for a cradle, looks like right now. Looks like he might have that locked up on the far leg. I'm not really sure if he has it 100% yet, though.
Well, the riding time is now at a minute. He has definitely dominated this opening period. Just 5 seconds left in this first period, but Nash is darn near close to pinning him.
He has some back points now, though. 4 back points for Charlie Nash.
Well, Charlie Nash with a tremendous final run there at the end of the first period. He nearly ended the entire match.
Nash on bottom now, looking for a quick escape. Nice little switch right there, takes him straight to his back almost. But Stiles does a good job at fighting out of that. Nash just a little bit not under control enough to make sure his arms are where they need to be. Stiles did a good job at popping his head out at the right time.
There it is. A point on the escape. 7-0 Nash leading this match as Baldwin Wallace trails the overall score 3-0. We are only in the second head-to-head matchup of the night.
Both wrestlers doing a good job out St. Emil and Matt. I don't think we've had anyone go out of bounds yet this entire night.
No, we haven't. You're right. Pat McGinnis and John Roth.
Stiles does a good job at fighting that shot off, that high crotch.
I was just going to mention McGinnis and Roth getting ready to wrestle at 141 in our next head-to-head matchup. 2 more points awarded for BW.
Again, he was looking for that far leg cradle.
The riding time continues to rise. It is over a minute.
Looking for a Merkel, it looks like. Just trying to pull his head over. There, right there. Stiles doing a good job trying to fight it off a little bit. 2 more back points, though.
Charlie Nash thoroughly dominating right now at the 133. Helping pick up his teammate Christian Wellman.
About 30 seconds to go. Nash only needs 4 more points for the tech fall. He already has 1:30 of riding time, so in reality, he only needs 3 more points. Excuse me, 4 more points.
Couple of counts, but he didn't hold them long enough. Slade Styles just fighting and fighting right now.
That might be it. That might be a tech fall right there, and it is.
How about that? So after Jordan Burkholder turned around a bad first period and beat Christian Wellman, Charlie Nash dominates Slade Styles 15-0 and wins via technical fall. Baldwin Wallace, 5 team points awarded as Nash gets a whole slew of high fives from his teammates. That was about as well as he could have hoped to wrestle here tonight. 21st win of the season and his 3rd on technical fall.
Yeah, very nice match, controlled by Nash the entire way. Good job at using his shots. A little bit uncontrolled at times, but that'll happen being an underclassman.
So here's Pat McGinnis wrestling at 141 for Baldwin Wallace. McGinnis, a senior from Cedar Creek High in Egg Harbor City, New Jersey. He's up against John Rolfe, a senior from Bluffton, Indiana. This is the 141-pound weight class. If you joined us late, BW's in yellow and brown, and of course the Muskies in black and red.
Pat doing a really good job at staying in his stance the whole time, blocking off anything. He's always done a really good job at staying in stance and blocking it off. You'd like to see a little bit more offense out of him, though, sometimes.
It's a tough match for Slade Styles a moment ago. He sits off to the side and just kind of has a blank look on his face as he tries to figure out what went wrong for him and hopes that his teammates, as John Rao does here, picks up a couple of points. 2-0 Rao here as we are about halfway through our first period. Give 1 point on the escape back to Pat McGinnis.
Rao, the lone senior, it looks like, for Muscatine tonight. Doing all he can to show a little bit of senior leadership out there.
Muskies with only 3 team wins on the season. They've been hard to come by. And of those 3 team wins, they have not come in any form since before Christmas time.
And there's a
big 2-point takedown.
Pat McGinnis right there. Nice job hitting that double leg right there on the edge of the mat. Still over a minute left in this period. He himself could gain a minute of riding time if he was able to control this remainder of the period.
Trying hard to pull him back into the center of the circle. And they leave the outer ring. Well, momentum is swinging in BW's favor. Charlie Nash with a dominating win at 133. And Pat McGinnis is starting to take control of this match.
Nice job by Pat by preventing that stand up, grabbing that arm and bringing him forward. Hopefully he can control that arm, get a turn. Pat needs to be careful. You can get called with a stalling like he did right there.
That was a good aggressive move, but they leave the circle.
John Raw checked the time, see how much he has left to get out real quick, get a quick escape or reversal. In his case, Pat still looking forward to controlling him for the remainder of this period.
The reigning conference champions and the top 10 national ranking. Baldwin Wallace continuing to improve on what's been a banner year for Yellow Jacket Wrestling. They've got a 5-3 lead on the team tallies early on. 3rd match of the night. This is at 141. McGinnis and Rao going at it. This is not looking good, and finally both leave the circle. With just 1.4 left, that seemed like a fortunate break for McGinnis.
Yes, and he does have a minute of riding time now, which could be huge if he's able to maintain that. Muskingum's coach is looking for another stalling call on a point in favor of John Raw.
Zach Miser, the head coach for Muskie Wrestling. Yellow Jackets have a 3-2 lead after the opening period.
Pat likes to go down this period.
Tonight's Yellow Jacket Wrestling match is brought to you by Dan Andrews and Olympic Forest Products, a global recycling company, by Domino's Pizza in Berea. Call them at 440-891-0030 or order online at domino's.com, and by the Ohio Education Credit Union. Gain the advantage and build your future today.
Pat hit that quick escape. However, since he went on bottom, he did lose 3 seconds of riding time, which is not that much if he were able to get another takedown. Get that back real quick.
Yellow Jackets leading the match 5-3 and leading this head-to-head contest 4-2. McGinnis and Rao going at it, still feeling each other out here in period number 2.
Pat looking for that arm bar to use for a single leg sweep. Doing a really good job at that head control. It just wears you out. And Raw, nice setup right there. Nice outside sweep.
2 points, Muskingum. And on the escape, one back to BW.
I think Pat missed an opportunity right there. Raw was kind of on his heels. If he would have just kind of lunged at him, he might have been able to hit a quick takedown straight to his back. Both wrestlers doing a good job about staying in the middle of the match. A lot of the matches so far, they've all done a really good job about staying in the middle.
Rao continues to try to grab at that back ankle.
It's one way to prevent you from giving up 2 easy points, but a lot of times experienced wrestlers know how to handle that. Just like Pat is right now, coming out that back door. Just looking to turn into him, get another 2, but Raw does a good job about getting his leg out.
Final 8 seconds of the second period.
Pat looking for another 2 before the end of this.
Certainly tried, but no points awarded. Miser, I should say, Coach Zach Miser frustrated at no stalling call.
Go neutral for this final period. 5-4 in favor of Pat McGinnis. Ryan time not a factor at this moment.
Baldwin Wallace currently leads 5-4 here in the 141-pound match. Zach Taylor and Toby Warrington next to wrestle. Jackets leading the team tallies 5-3 through the first couple of matches so far tonight.
Both wrestlers looking for a setup for a shot. This next takedown could be the deciding factor.
Well, you're right, in such a tight match. Now that it's coming down to the end, you've got to be careful.
Pat got a little sloppy right there. Gave up that single leg outside sweep. Doing a good job fighting it off, though, getting those double underhooks.
A tremendous way to get back up on top.
He's looking for a trip right there. Raw did a good job of fighting that off. BW coaching staff a little upset he gave up those double underhooks. They're hoping he could use that to his advantage. And again, he goes back to that single arm bar. Looking for that outside sweep.
BW with a 5-4 lead at the moment in this match. 38 seconds left between them and 3 more points. This has been probably the most even match of the 3 we've seen so far. Well, the score would certainly indicate that.
Yes, it's been very close this entire time, back and forth.
Just 20 seconds remaining. McGinnis
has to be careful that he doesn't give up another stalling.
10 seconds to wrestle.
If I were Raw shoes, I would be pushing the envelope all I could, keep going for shots, get that stalling call forced, but he waited a little bit too long.
Never came. And the Yellow Jackets in a narrow decision with a 5-4 win, and BW wins 3 additional points. Well fought by John Rao, but he ends up just a little bit too short.
Great match by both wrestlers, doing a really good job back and forth.
So BW holds an 8-3 lead overall as we get to the 149 matchup of the night. Zach Taylor and Toby Warrington. Zach Taylor wrestling for Baldwin Wallace, of course. Taylor, a junior from Brunswick, not terribly far away. 14-9 on the season. He's had 4 wins by major decision, none by technical fall. But certainly somebody with some experience.
Oh, for sure. And he's going against Toby Warrington, a sophomore from Hillsboro, Ohio. And right there, takedown. Great job by Taylor, just driving through on the outside.
2 big points at the outset.
Looks like he's trying to use his legs to his advantage. Get a little bit of arm control as well.
Sorry, go ahead.
He does have one arm. I'm surprised he's not using that more, but he looks like he's looking for kind of a tilt right now. I'm surprised he's not using that to look for a half some sort or a cradle.
Muskingum won at the 125-pound weight class. Jordan Burkholder with a 7-4 decision over Christian Wellman. But BW with wins at 133 and 144. And they have a 5-point lead on the overall scoreboard. Halfway through the first period at 149.
Still, Taylor doing a good job just keeping his weight forward, not letting Warrington have any room to move. He already has 1:10 of riding time in this first period.
Yeah, it's practically been consecutive here ever since he took him down.
There, he's looking for a tilt. Should be getting some points right there. Nice tight waist tilt right there by Taylor.
Zach Taylor trying to finish off Warrington quickly. 50 seconds left in the first period.
Don't normally see a pin out of a tilt, but right now he had that nice and tight. When you feel like you're about to give up that arm like he did, he should have rolled him back through. But he's doing a good job, still keep control.
4 points for the Yellow Jackets. It's 6-0.
Looking for another tilt. Wasn't quite controlled right there. There's an escape right there for Warrington.
So the one point awarded to Warrington, his first. And as the two hit the hard court of the basketball floor, even though they weren't both out of the circle, the whistle blows with 20 seconds left in our opening period.
And again, Taylor on the offense right away looking for that sweep single.
You're right, he's been ultra aggressive.
Yes, doing a really good job getting in deep too for the most part. And then he might get another 2 right there. He should. All he does have to drive forward. There it is.
2 more for BW, and this has been a one-sided affair early on as the first period expires with Taylor on top 8-1.
1:59 of riding time. I guess I didn't realize that he scored a takedown in only a second to begin with. Or no, excuse me, that first period is 3 minutes, but he can basically control that entire first period.
Taylor chooses to start on bottom.
And nice.
He immediately spins out of it, and 2 points.
Nice switch right there by Taylor.
Beautiful
right
reversal.
Off the whistle. Right off the whistle. Time that up perfectly.
Not only that, the riding time continues to escalate. At this point, it's essentially an 11-1 affair. There's 1 point and 2 more.
Good job by Toby right there. Just changing his direction, getting around his hips, get that takedown.
Well, that's certainly a break for Warrington. I don't know if it's fair to say that Taylor got sloppy there, but Warrington certainly made a nice move.
Yes, he capitalized on a situation where Taylor kind of got his arms too far in and was turning at the wrong time. Sometimes that happens, in all sports where you just little things that maybe not necessarily sloppy, it's just the wrong time to be doing it and you get caught.
And the whistle blows. 57 seconds left in our second period. 3 consecutive points have helped Toby Warrington climb back in a little bit, but Still a match controlled by Zach Taylor.
Taylor looking for another switch the other side this time. Warrington did a good job, though, defending this one. Doing a good job pressuring forward, looking for a turn right now. Eating into that riding time that Taylor accumulated over that first period.
Riding time is down near the 1 minute mark. Final 37 seconds in our second period. BW leads the dual match 8-3. And this current head-to-head match 10-4. Riding time is now under a minute.
Warrington did a good job right there, just keeping his pressure forward, not letting Taylor have any move really to get out. Right here, though.
And both players run out of the circle. Well, Taylor exhibited quite a bit of effort just to run away, never could quite break the grasp of Warrington's hands around his chest.
Yeah, right there. You kind of want to just push their hands down to your hip and break it just by creating that distance between their arms and with your hip. But Taylor going to look for another quick. I was wrong. I thought he'd be going for a switch right there off the whistle or a stand-up, but Warrington did a good job right there of just blocking him off completely.
Well, there's the buzzer to signal the end of the second period. Taylor has a 10-4 lead for the Yellow Jackets, but that second period did not exactly go well for him. He will start on top here for period number 3. Just 2 minutes left in this match.
We got to remember that Taylor did a really good job on top that first period, hitting a couple tilt series to get some points. Right there, not so much. Just letting it up right away.
Warrington picks up another point on the escape. You can almost see Jamie Gibbs being a little frustrated. He's waiting for Benjamin Hoof to take the mat next at 1:57. As he goes over and gives him a big high five, some words of encouragement.
Right there, Taylor, all it does is have to drive forward right now, climb up the back. Right there.
2 points for Taylor. Those are big for him as the riding time starts to escalate again. He's only 10 seconds shy of earning another point. But with a 12-5 lead, it may not matter.
At this point, you want that major decision. Possibly go for a tech fall or a pin if you could. Just help your team out, team point-wise. But right now, you just want to make sure you don't get sloppy. Give up another reversal or something to put you on your back. Or
under a minute to go in the third period. We are at the 149 weight class.
Taylor looking again for another tilt right there. Likes his tilt series, which I was also a fan of when I was still wrestling. It's easy back points most of the time if you get it nice and tight. Not necessarily going to pin someone, but you can get a lot of points that way. Under 30 seconds. Taylor doing a good job just controlling the match.
Well, and he made sure to stay connected as both players left the circle there. 23.5 seconds left at our 149 match. Unless by some stunning turn of events, it looks like it'll go BW's way.
There's a stalling right there. Another point.
One additional point awarded to Muskingum.
You got that stalling and you got the escape. But at this point, under 5 seconds, yeah, there's not really much Warrington can do. Taylor's going to take this victory.
And Taylor gets one additional point on the riding time, so a 13-6 decision. And the Yellow Jackets have won their third consecutive match after a loss at 125 to get things started. At 157, it's Benjamin Hoof against Michael Wilson. Today's Yellow Jacket Wrestling match brought to you by the Hoffman Group. They're an Oswald company, and they'll handle all of your insurance and risk management needs. By Medical Mutual of Ohio, the official healthcare provider for Baldwin Wallace University. And by the Comfort Inn in Middleburg Heights. Your comfort is just a part of the service that we provide our guests. Alongside Cade Mickley, I'm Brendan Gulick. Hope you're enjoying our coverage tonight of the Yellow Jackets as they pursue history, looking for a new program record, 19 team wins It would be the third consecutive year that they would reestablish a team record. Of course, winning the OAC championship a year ago, a highlight for them. First OAC title since the team won it way back in 1973. Wins for Charlie Nash, Pat McGinnis, and Zach Taylor at 133, 141, and 149 respectively. And Benjamin Hoof wrestles Michael Wilson here, one of our mid-matches of the night, 157.
Yeah, Hoof, the sophomore out of Worthington, Thomas Worthington, 18 wins on the season with 4 falls and 67 team points, going against Michael Wilson, the freshman from Apple Creek, Waynedale, teammates with BW's own Christian Wellman back in high school just a year ago, it looks like. Both wrestlers were in a scramble situation early in that match, neither giving up any points. Both right there doing a good job with that snap down. Front headlock, looking for that spin for that 2, not quite getting it.
If you're tuning in late tonight, Anthony Arroyo and Zachary Lehman, individually the top 2 winning wrestlers for BW this year. Neither of them are wrestling tonight. They've both competed and had a lot of success lately. Charlie Nash just won his 21st match of the season in dominating fashion as Benjamin Hoof gets 2 for a takedown. Nash with the only major win of the night. He won on a technical fall through 2 periods at a 15-0 lead over Slade Styles.
Yeah, he had the tech fall. Zach Taylor with that major decision last match, putting BW up 12-3 in team points. And don't forget, a little bit later, BW has a forfeit in its favor to increase that team points by even more. But right now, Huff with that takedown, looking for some back points. Got a little high right there, as Michael Wilson got that escape. Still plenty of time in this first period for some action to happen.
With 3 consecutive wins, BW now leads the overall match 12-3. You mentioned that at 197 we will have a forfeit tonight. And of the 10 weight classes that are listed, this would be the middle of them, considering that we would have one of those 10 as a forfeit. That's been a problem for Muskingum. They've had several matches this year where the team record's been really knocked down quite a bit because they haven't been able to wrestle, in some cases forfeiting on 3 or 4 matches.
Yeah, forfeits will kill you, especially with a young program like this. Not really being able to fill those spots, as Huff tried to get that trip in there late, not quite getting it. Huff once down, looking for a quick escape or quick 2.
So Hoof will start on the bottom. Currently 2-1 BW. Hoof got those 2 quick early points, and then 1 on the escape for Michael Wilson.
And right there's another quick escape. And another snap down to spin. That was great by Hoff right there.
Boy, the tables turned awfully quickly in BW's favor in about 2 seconds. 5-1 Jackets.
Like to see Hoff run that half Nelson right there if he could. He's trying to get it in deep. That's the thing with the half, especially at the collegiate level, you have to have that arm all the way on the other side. Make sure you have that leverage and then break them down. Hoff did a really good job just keeping his pressure forward, not getting too high like he did early in that first period to give that escape.
Riding time continues to rise over 1:20.
There he
potentially a chance to pin him here.
Hoff had that arm control, gave it up though.
Under a minute to go in the second period, as everybody inside the arena at the moment fairly quiet.
They're stalling on bottom as Hoff's looking for something to run, but he's not really able to get anything. And Michael Wilson's not doing anything to improve his position, which is why you get called for stalling on the bottom. Even though it is very difficult sometimes when that other guy has all their pressure and weight forward on you, you feel like you can't really move and you're still getting hit with the stalling. Hoff over 2 minutes of riding time now, and just about 10 seconds left in the second period. Probably just going to ride it out at this point. Going to the third period, 5-1, with over 2 minutes of riding time.
And there's the buzzer. Well, Benjamin Hoff certainly has had control, but Michael Wilson far from over in this one because it is still a tight affair. Essentially a 5-point lead with all that riding time racked up. Matter of fact, within about 30 seconds from now, there will be so much riding time racked up that that point will automatically go to BW because Muskingum won't have enough time on the clock to neglect it. But Hoff with a 2-point takedown, it'll continue to rise.
Really nice single leg sweep, that finish. Looking for a gator roll almost, it looked like. Wasn't really quite sure what he was running. I was at the wrong angle. There's another stalling call.
1-point escape for Muskingum.
Excuse me, I thought the way the official motion right there looked like he's going to hit with the stalling. Michael Wilson takes some sloppy shots now. Just trying to get something going for him. Hoff doing a good job, just blocking it out, spinning again, another 2.
Another 2 points. 9-2, Hoff on top for BW. And he's accumulated nearly 3 minutes of riding time as he tries to find a way to pin Wilson. We have not had a pin yet tonight. Baldwin Wallace trying to win its 4th match in a row. The escape for Wilson gives him 1 additional point. Riding time at the end of this match will tack on 1 more for Baldwin Wallace.
Hoff doing a great job on that right shot.
That's his 4th takedown of the match. 15 seconds to go as he keeps riding it out.
There he has that crab hook underneath. Under a second left. And yeah, another BW win.
The final horn, and it's the 4th consecutive win for Baldwin Wallace. This time a 12-3 victory. So the Yellow Jackets just continue what has been a dominating stretch. It's now a 16-3 lead in the overall team tallies. The official approaches the far scores table for a moment. Adam Green and John Broadman set to wrestle next. Adam Green 9-6 on the season. He has lost a couple of major decisions.
Yeah, Adam Green, a freshman out of Austintown, Austin Fitch. He has 8 falls on the season, going against John Broadman from Muskingum. Broadman, a freshman from Tiffin, Calvert High School.
Already 2 on the takedown.
Was extremely fast, looking for some back points as he already has his legs in. Those tall, lengthy guys always doing a really good job about throwing their legs in, just controlling other wrestlers. Might be a little high right now, but if you can break him down right there, Broadman will be in a bad position. Just like that. Green doing a really good job using his legs to his advantage, his length. Cradles are always a lot easier when you're a lot longer than the other guy like that. You might get your first pin.
You might get your first one of the night.
That looks pretty dang close. He has that very tight.
Broadman is in a deadly position.
And
there it is. 1 minute into the match. Adam Green pins John Broadman. Made quick work.
Yes, that was extremely fast. Green doing a great job with his legs after that takedown, just controlling him the whole way, breaking him down, using those long arms, get around his legs, get that nice tight cradle locked in.
As you might imagine, he was pretty jazzed up. And Green comes over to the near side with lots of high fives from his teammates. BW in thorough control at the moment now. Overall score 22-3. Muskingum, you might remember if you caught the beginning of the match, they won at 125 pounds. BW gets 2 points. But as we have gotten to the heavier weight classes, the Yellow Jackets are just dominating. We might have another pin.
Graham doing a great job. He is the takedown artist.
Graham Montague, we didn't even have a chance to introduce him yet.
No, 42 takedowns on the season. Already another one added to that. He has 16 wins on the season. 3-time letter winner, the senior out of Independence High School.
Already 6 points in the first 40 seconds.
He didn't want a freshman to outdo him. He's looking for that pin himself. He's going against Michael Kubasha. I think I said that right. I apologize if I did not.
No,
The freshman
Kashuba.
The freshman out of Kilbuck West Holmes. Place I used to train at when I was in high school with the likes of Colt Sponseller and a couple other very good wrestlers from that program.
Mathematically, at this point, it's a 19-point lead for Baldwin Wallace.
That was a great throw by Graham right there. You don't really see that used too often anymore. I used to love it. But that was a great throw by. You just gonna let the other guy pressure in, you throw the arm by. Easy 2 points.
Just to do the math for a moment, even if Muskingum were to pin at each of their next 3 remaining matches, the fact that there is one forfeit coming would signify that BW will win this as a team. Is that correct?
That is correct.
And so that means BW will tonight officially now reestablish a new program record. It'll be their 19th win of the season. And at this point, it's just about individual wrestling for the Muskies.
Muskingum having a few kids from very powerhouse wrestling schools throughout the state of Ohio. Kubasha, like we said, from West Holmes. I personally wrestled with a kid there, Mask Roshkoff, who's at NC State right now. He was a ranked wrestler last year, competing in the NCAA tournament, Division I level. So they have some talent on this team. I'd like to see how they do the next few years as they mature into the college ranks. But BW's already built a powerhouse within the OAC under Coach Gibbs.
10-2 lead for Graham Montague in the final minute of the first period. He nearly pinned Michael Kashuba in about 30 seconds. Kashuba struggling to get out from underneath. Riding time is at 1:30, and there's just 30 seconds left before the buzzer.
And right there's a half Nelson with 30 seconds left. That's going to be really hard for Kashuba to get out of. But he does.
4 points for Baldwin Wallace. It is 14-2, and the riding time is nearly at 2 minutes.
If Graham gets another turn right here, this match might be over. In terms of tech fall, it looks like it is.
It sure is. How about that? The Yellow Jackets in the 165 and 174. Adam Green and Graham Montague have made very quick work. Didn't even get out of one full period. Great. Montague with a tech fall win.
Graham, great job right there with all of his takedowns and back points. As you saw, you see why he had 42 going into that match. Takedowns, that is. As he able just to work Kashuba from Muskingum.
So we're at the 184-pound weight class, and this is actually our second last match of the night. Christopher Head wrestling for BW against Anthony Cole Young for Muskingum. We will not have a wrestler at 197. James Ritchie will wrestle heavyweight 285 coming up next.
Christopher Head, the sophomore out of Massillon Jackson High School, going against Anthony Cole Young out of the junior from Springfield Kenton Ridge High School. Head has to be careful right there. That was a nice shot in by Cole Young.
Takedown, 2 points for Anthony Cole Young.
Yeah, Head did a good job right there. He just gave up the 2. He didn't want to give up the back points. There's a possibility for Anthony, if he would have just kind of pressured into him, he might have took Head straight to his back. Tough situation right there. So smart wrestling, just giving up the 2.
Head 6-7 on the season. Would love to improve on that record and get back to 500 individually and continue to help this team bolster its national ranking as he escapes and earns a point, his first of the match. We are hoping to be joined by head coach Jamie Gibbs after this this dual meet concludes. And we would love to get his thoughts on reestablishing a new program record with 19 wins. It's now official that Baldwin Wallace as a team will win this match.
Both wrestlers still feeling each other out after that quick flurry of movement that saw Anthony get his first 2 points against Christopher Head. Just a reminder that BW will be taking on Ohio Northern this Thursday, 7:30, back here in Ursprung Gymnasium.
Hey, you're right. Kind of interesting if you look at the schedule that Baldwin Wallace has wrestled. The first 21 times this team has competed, they've only had one home match, and that came all the way back on November the 29th. But they will wrestle 4 consecutive times here at home starting today. Ohio Northern's on Saturday. I beg your pardon, on Friday. They've got the John Suma Invitational Saturday, and then they'll wrestle Heidelberg next week on February the 7th.
Yeah, nice little lineup right there for the Yellow Jacket fans to see their guys in action this next week and a half. Especially the John Suma tournament. Very big, very popular to go to. Highly recommend it if you're a wrestling fan. As we're under 10 seconds in this first period, with Anthony Cole Young from Muskingum leading 2-1 over Christopher Head from BW.
2 points for a takedown for Cole Young right there at the final couple of seconds. The riding time advantage is for Muskingum, but at only 32 seconds doesn't really matter at the moment.
Yeah, very early in the match that can change. Only 30 seconds. Anthony Cole Young being very aggressive early. Get in nice and deep on shots.
You know what? He's got nothing to lose.
Yeah, exactly.
Might as well go after and play the aggressor. He picks up 2 more.
That's the beauty about the sport of wrestling. Yeah, you like your team to win a lot of times, as BW will tonight. But at the same time, even if your team can't win, if you're in Muskie's position, you still have the possibility to go out there and win for yourself and your school. Represent yourself and your family very well. That's what draws a lot of people to the sport. It's you versus that other guy, and may the best man win.
Logan Sorowski and Andrew Sorowski and Logan Thomas will wrestle next. Those two for their respective schools just pacing behind the benches. We are in period 2 with just over a minute to go, about halfway through. Anthony Cole Young having a nice match so far.
Chris Head looking for a nice roll through right there.
Well, he gets 1 point for escaping. And all back to neutral.
Cole Young has a minute 20 of riding time. That could be a factor later, but we'll have to wait and see. As Head is just giving up his legs really easily.
Baldwin Wallace has won 6 consecutive matches entering the 184-pound weight class. But you're right, Chris Head is having a tough time. He's given Cole Young much better positioning. Head in an awkward spot as he was kind of riding on his forehead. 2 more takedown points awarded to Anthony Cole Young. Well, while this Muskingum team has struggled lately in conference.
Head almost capitalized on a little bit of a risky situation by Cole Young. Got a little too high on him. Almost hit him with a head and arm, kind of.
There's the end of the second period. Heidelberg and Mount Union, the last 2 conference dual meets, and Muskingum only scored 3 team points in each of those dual meets. So it would seem like something of an improvement if they could manage something more than 3 points here. And now as we enter the third period, Anthony Cole Young is certainly in good positioning. Today's wrestling match brought to you by the Cleveland Clinic Sports Health Division, the official healthcare provider for BW Athletics, by American International. When you require a company with proven performance, rely on American International. There's 2 points on the reversal for BW. It's 8-4.
Yeah, Christopher Head is not out of this match by any means. He can easily claw his way back in with a couple back points here, especially.
His problem is the riding time is favoring Muskingum, and he doesn't have the ability to get that down into his favor. Riding time in the 1:28 left in this match, essentially right now ticking simultaneously.
At this point, Chris is going to have to look for a pin. some 4 back points and then another couple back points or takedown. But currently he's letting the time get away from him a little bit.
Anthony Cole-Young at the moment, helping Muskingum to maybe their second win of the night. Stalling called against Muskingum. Zach Meiser can't believe it.
Yeah, Coach Meiser a little upset. Maybe feels that BW's gone away with a little bit of stalling themselves the last couple of matches, or this match in particular, maybe. But as we said, Cole-Young leads 8-4. Riding time no longer a factor.
BW with a 27-3 lead as a team. Chris Head trying everything he can in the final 22 seconds to reverse this decision. He needs a pin in the final 12 seconds. That's really his only option at this point.
Pin or 4 back points would tie it up.
Cole-Young just not rolling over. 3 seconds. And that'll do it. Anthony Cole-Young with the second win of the night for Muskingum at the 184-pound weight class. And Cole-Young with a nice win.
Yeah, Chris Head fought back there late. Just not quite enough to get the W.
So it's 27-6 as we enter the final match of the night in a moment. This is the 197 match, which just concluded as James Ritchie took the mat and then immediately walked back to his own bench after winning by forfeit.
Yes, now we're at the 2 heavyweights, Andrew Sorosky versus Logan Thomas from Muskingum. Andrew Sorosky, I know personally we played football with him here, the junior from Olentangy. Very smart kid, very thorough wrestler, strong as well.
He's had a terrific season, 15-3.
Yes, he missed a few of the first matches just because the football season goes into the wrestling season a little bit. Coach Gibbs gives those guys a little bit of time to rest, heal up a little bit, then start getting into wrestling shape, which is a lot different than football shape, I'd have to say.
Baldwin Wallace with wins at each weight class tonight except for the 125 and 184. Christian Wellman and Chris Head both fell short tonight. Jordan Burkholder with a win for Muskingum, as did Anthony Cole-Young, Charlie Nash, Pat McGinnis, Zach Taylor, Benjamin Hoff, Adam Green, and Graham Montague, all with wins, and of course James Ritchie winning by forfeit.
Yes, and Andrew Sorosky would like to add to those BW wins. At the same time, Logan Thomas wants Muskingum to go home feeling a little bit better about themselves, get another win, improve upon that team record like you were saying. Throughout their last couple dual meets, they've only accomplished 3 team points, but Sorosky has ideas of his own.
2 points on the takedown for Sorosky.
Yeah, heavyweights, once you get someone down, it's a lot harder to get up, as we'll see. Andrew's going to, looks like he's trying to throw his legs in a little bit. Just pressing forward.
Sorosky in yellow, Logan Thomas in black, and right now in a vulnerable position on bottom.
Another tilt. Love to see the tilt series being worked tonight by BW.
Sorosky nearly had a pin, but give him 4 big points. Give him a 6-0 lead. Final minute of the first period. Again, we hope you'll stick with us post-match as we are looking forward to hopefully talking with Jamie Gibbs, head coach of the Yellow Jackets, who have won their 19th match of the season tonight, making program history.
Yeah, Andrew looked like he's going for that cradle. Make sure he has to keep him in bounds.
Really good positioning,
And
and it's
there's a
over.
pin.
An exclamation point at the end of the night for the Yellow Jackets. Sorosky wins on a pin, and Baldwin Wallace caps off history. Sorosky's pin, the second of the night, and BW will win tonight by a final of 39-6. Just a tremendous night for Yellow Jacket wrestling.
What a great night for BW, saying team history, program history, and there's still room to grow as they still have multiple dual meets left in a few tournaments.
We'll step aside for just a moment, and head coach Jamie Gibbs will join us shortly here on BWYellowJackets.com. Welcome inside our post-match coverage after the Yellow Jackets have reestablished a new school record with their 19th win of the season, and we're thrilled to be joined by sixth-year head coach Jamie Gibbs. Jamie, this program continues to get better and better each and every year. I have to imagine you're awfully proud of that.
Oh, very proud. I actually forgot for a minute about the record. Yeah, it's awesome. It's a feather in the cap. Hopefully it's not the highlight of the season, but definitely something they're proud of, I'm sure.
You win the OAC championship last year, and I know that has got to be one of the highlights, not just for the program, but for you as a coach. What has it meant for you to see this program continue to grow and the guys individually continue to keep working hard?
I think it gives you confidence that you're doing the right things from a culture standpoint, from an everyday approach standpoint, doing things right in the classroom. Guys are getting valuable experience here, and they're graduating, and they're getting good jobs. So I think that's all success, right?
It's a program that right now is really starting to accrue the attention nationally that it's deserved. A top 10 national ranking coming in tonight. In some weight classes, thorough domination. In some others, a couple more challenges. But what do you like about the way this team has progressed as the season's gone along?
Well, what I liked about tonight is there's some things that we addressed this week in practice, and it showed up in our wrestling tonight. So I think that's that's being intentional, and guys paying attention and not just getting good workouts in, but getting specifically better at things that they need to get better at, and it showed up tonight. And there's always things that you want to get better, but overall we had some guys step up that aren't regular starters and do their job. You're proud of that, so I think that's good too.
Coach, what would you have to say? Coach, what would you have to say for someone like Christian Wellman as a freshman to come in and get some valuable MAC experience right there in front of the home crowd? Hasn't really had that chance before to get in front of BW fans, to go out there that first match of the night. Yeah. And a close match, good match.
It's a different experience, having wrestling at a tournament or versus on a 1 hour weigh-in in front of your home fans. And I think it was a valuable experience for him. He figured some things out, that he shared with us after the match, and we'll make some adjustments. And I know he'll be, he's good. He's a tough kid, and I think we just need to change some things with his warm-up. And, so he's a little fresher and has a little more fire out there, but he's a talented kid, and that's a tough kid that he wrestled. That kid's had some good wins, and he was in position to win that match. And we'll make some small adjustments, and I think Christian's going to continue to get better each and every day.
How about from your depth? I mean, you look at least at the statistics tonight. The top two wrestlers in terms of wins you've had this year, Anthony Arroyo, Zachary Lehman, neither of the two of them wrestled tonight, and the final score reflects a convincing win anyways.
Reflection of the guys. in the program, the kids that we're recruiting, that they're coming in and buying in and taking advantage of the opportunity when they get it. You know, so we gave them this opportunity. I think they took advantage of it tonight. So we're real proud of that. And I think that's I think that helps us as a team and program. So they're getting valuable experience, and it's giving some other guys a little bit of a breather. We've had some other things going on that we guys needed the night off. So
terrific.
Yes.
Any final thoughts?
No, congrats on the win, Coach.
yeah, thanks. That's awesome.
Hey, before I let you go real quick, how about a message to maybe some of your alumni or fans that haven't had a chance to follow the program too closely this year?
Continue to follow us. You know, find us through social media, and then get out. We got a match, a real important match on Friday against another top 20 team in Ohio Northern, and then the following Tuesday, a really big one against Heidelberg. And if things keep shaking out, first we got to take care of business Friday, and then Tuesday against Heidelberg, and so for those guys that haven't been, we had a former All-American and Coach Doug Knight. He came in tonight, so all you alumni and former wrestlers, come back to the program. We'd love to have you talk to the guys and share your experience here and what a BW education and wrestling experience did for you. So
it's terrific to see the way things have gone. Congratulations on all the success, and best of luck as you continue to move forward in search of another OAC title.
Hey, thanks a lot, guys. Appreciate the
Thank you,
coverage.
Coach.
It's great.
All right, more after this timeout on BWYellowJackets.com. All right, we're back at Ursprung Gymnasium after hearing from head coach Jamie Gibbs after a 39-6 convincing win for the Baldwin Wallace Yellow Jackets. Kay, this was a fun match. It was early on kind of what we expected. Muskingum had a chance at the 125, and they took care of business. But from that point moving forward, the Yellow Jackets proved why they are one of the best wrestling teams in Division III.
Yes, it's like Coach Gibbs said, just the program itself, it's built itself. Those upper guys that we talked about, the two winningest wrestlers in the program right now, Anthony Arroyo and Zachary Lehman, didn't even wrestle tonight, and Baldwin Wallace dominated the match 39-6. That happens in the practice room, in the weight room, conditioning, off season. Those guys are what make the program go, and you have people that graduated the year before, like Garrett Chase, that come back to help that program continue to grow. It's just amazing to see what this program's become in my 4 years here as a BW student. I'm very excited to see where it goes, and it's not even done for this season. These guys still have the opportunity to expand upon this record.
Muskingum drops its 6th straight dual meet. They fall to 3-8 on the season, but the story of the night, the Yellow Jackets at 19-3 have a new school record for wins in a season, and there are still several matches to go. How far can they push it? For Cade Mickley, I'm Brendan Gulick. On behalf of the sports information staff here at BW, have a great rest of the night. Thanks for tuning in, and we hope you'll stick around for more Yellow Jacket action tomorrow. We've got an opportunity tomorrow. Baldwin Wallace will play basketball at home against Ohio Northern. The Yellow Jackets squaring off against the right now the #1 team in the OAC. Marietta and Ohio Northern are tied, but Ohio Northern beat Marietta, and so they have the tiebreaker. That's the next broadcast we have for Yellow Jacket basketball. But of course, our next wrestling broadcast is on Friday night when Ohio Northern comes to town, 7:30 for that matchup on Friday. Again, for Cade Mickley, I'm Brendan Gulick. Have a great rest of the night.